Okay, two things for you guys before we get started on previews and predictions. One, I thought Jurgen Klopp's tactics against Barcelona in leg one of the Champions League semifinals were pretty spot on, but unfortunately, most tactics aren't Messi-proof. That's just the reality of it. Two, upon further consideration, you guys were probably right. I don't think my comparison of Lucas Digne to Andy Robertson in my Premier League Team of the Year video was correct, okay? Robertson was the better player this season, and I'm not afraid to admit that I might make a mistake every once in a while, all right? It happens. Okay, maybe that's the first time I've ever done that. But I'm doing it, and I'm telling you. Anyway, because there were so many big games since we're nearing the end of the season for so many leagues, here are all the games I'll be keeping my eyes on this weekend. Oh yeah, like that one over there, and that one way over there, and that one really far away. It's so far, it's right over there. Like my beloved Newcastle having the power to end any hope that Liverpool has of winning the league when they host the Reds at St. James's Park, which I'll be streaming on Twitch if you want to come watch it with me. But the biggest story, since Newcastle is safe from relegation, is whether former Liverpool manager Rafa Benitez, who's the current manager of Newcastle, in case you're living under a rock, will put out his strongest lineup against the Reds, or will he bag it so the Reds get the full 3 points and keep the pressure on Manchester City? What would you do if you were Rafa? And then I'll be keeping these things peeled on Juventus, who just clinched the league title for what? The 200th time in a row? Hosting Torino in the Turin Derby, but this is less about Juve, okay? They have nothing to play for besides pride, if that matters to them. I don't even really know. And all about Torino, who find themselves in an incredible battle to qualify for Europe and Serie A, because listen to this. Atalanta currently have the last Champions League spot on 59 points. They're in 4th. Roma are in 5th on 58. Torino are in 6th on 56. So Roma and Torino have the last 2 Europa League spots, or the only 2 Europa League spots. AC Milan are in 7th on 56, and Lazio are in 8th on 55. And Lazio play Atalanta this weekend too, so it's just gonna be nuts, all right? My mind is being blown about what's happening in Serie A, except at the top, but more in the middle, or who's qualified for it. You guys know what I'm trying to say, and there's only 4 games left in the season. And then I'll be spying on Real Valladolid versus Athletic Bilbao Baggins, because even though La Liga is done for the top 3, Barcelona is going to finish in 1st, Atleti in 2nd, and Madrid in 3rd. It's still alive and well in other spots in the table, specifically for Valladolid, who currently sit in the relegation zone in the 18th spot on 35 points. But they're only 2 points behind 3 clubs, Celta Vigo, Levante, and Girona. So this is a must-win game, just like it is for Bilbao, who sit 2 points behind Valencia for that last Europa League spot. So we'll see which players are more clutch in this one. And then let's head to Germany for Bayer Leverkusen versus Eintracht Frankfurt, because even though I'm Team Eintracht over here for all the nice things the club has done for me and my community lately, they are struggling in the league right now, only earning 2 points in their last 3 games. But they're still in 4th, the last Champions League spot in the Bundesliga, on 54 points. However, Borussia Mönchengladbach and Bayer Leverkusen, who Eintracht play this weekend and who have won 3 straight league games, are both on 51 points, only 3 points behind Eintracht, while Hoffenheim, who Mönchengladbach play this weekend, are on 50 points. So Scheisse! These 2 games, which are absolute must-wins for all 4 of these clubs, are popping off. And then in France, it's 3rd hosting 2nd, as Lyon hosts Lille. And even though the gap between the 2 is 6 points, this is a big opportunity for Lyon to close that gap on Lille to 3 points with 3 games remaining, which, as a reminder, 2nd place in Ligue 1 gets that automatic Champions League spot, which, as we all know, guarantees some big money, while 3rd gets you only the Champions League qualifiers, which is much more difficult to navigate. Adding to the pressure for Lyon is that Saint-Étienne is only 3 points behind them in 4th, and if you get 4th in Ligue 1, it's the Europa League, which is considerably less cool and also less money, so there is a lot at stake this weekend for Lyon. And then in Portugal, holy shit, with defending league champions Porto blowing a 2-goal lead in the last 5 minutes of their game against Rio Ave last week, it means Benfica now have 1st place all by themselves with 3 games remaining. So if they can beat the 11th best team at home this weekend, and then the 8th best team away from home next week, and the 9th best team at home on the last weekend of the season, they will be champions once again. And then in Turkey, holy shit, with current league leaders Istanbul Başakşehir winning only 1 of their last 5 league games, that's let everyone else back into the title race, which includes 2nd place Galatasaray, who are only 2 points off of the top now, and 3rd place Beşiktaş, who are only 1 point behind Galatasaray and 3 points behind Başakşehir at the top of the table. And Galatasaray and Beşiktaş, wait for it, play each other this weekend. Yes, that game is going down, and what a game it's gonna be, because it could decide who ends up winning the league. And then in Holland, there are only 2 games left to go in the season, and Ajax and PSV are tied on top of the table, but Ajax have the edge due to goal difference, so PSV not only need to win, they need to win by a lot of goals. But I don't think it's going to happen when they travel away from home to face 4th place AZ Alkmaar, who also happen to have the 4th best home record of any team in the Eredivisie behind the top 3 of Ajax, PSV, and Feyenoord. So even if PSV win, I doubt it will be by a big margin. However, with Ajax's focus being diverted by the Champions League semifinals, maybe PSV will get lucky and see Ajax drop points at home to 5th place FC Utrecht this weekend. We'll see. And then, holy shit, we have to talk about the championship in England this weekend because it's the last day of the season before the playoffs for promotion start, of which 3 teams have already qualified: Leeds, West Brom, and Aston Villa. But that last spot is up for grabs. Now, Derby control their fate since they have 71 points, while Middlesbrough are on 70 and Bristol City have 69. But nothing is guaranteed since Derby are hosting West Brom. West Brom is a team I already mentioned had already qualified, so they're pretty good, while Borough are away from home to already relegated Rotherham. You might be familiar with that name, Lauren 2K. I see you out there. And Bristol City are away to Hull. So we'll see if Frank Lampard, in his first full season as a manager, can get Derby to the finish line and into the playoff. And then here in North America, the big game in MLS this weekend is the New York Red Bulls, last season Supporters Shield winner, as the team with the best record over 34 games, which is the league champion in most other leagues, but we have playoffs here, hosting Zlatan Ibrahimovic and the much improved LA Galaxy, which, and I wouldn't have said this last year, but I think the Galaxy, even though they're flying all the way across the country and they're the visitors in this one, are the favorites because the Red Bulls have dropped off a lot this season. They're currently in 9th in the Eastern Conference, and I can't really figure out why, since they have most of the same players as last season minus Tyler Adams, who left for RB Leipzig. So maybe teams have just figured them out a bit. And then finally, holy mierda. It's the last weekend of the season in Mexico, and even though León finished in first to claim the top seed and home field advantage throughout La Liguilla, also known as the playoffs, so congratulations to them, the real battle is for that last playoff spot. Now right now, my Tijuana Zolos Cholos have it in the 8th spot on 25 points, but Puebla are right behind them with 24 points, and guess what? Tijuana and Puebla play each other this weekend in Tijuana, so no mames way. What another massive game this weekend. And yes, that is it. That is all I got, except for this. Pick the right score for Newcastle versus Liverpool, and if you get it exactly right, you'll be entered to win some Warm Baller stickers. So good luck, and please, for me, have a good or bad weekend, everyone. And come hang out with me on Twitch already if you haven't. It's a lot of fun. Also, the team I'm coaching in this country, 4th Division, San Francisco Glens, our first game is happening this weekend, May 5th, Sunday. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. It's going to be on my Twitch channel, Jimmy Conrad. Go check it out. Give me some tips. I'm going to bring you guys into the locker room. You're going to be on the field with us. It's going to be next level content. Or at least that's how I imagine it in my head. My head's a fun place to be. Anyway, I'm done talking. Later.